Hi friends, welcome back to SQL with Ravimartha. So in part 8 we have seen how to update rows in a table and how to delete rows from a table, also how to drop the table. And in continuation to that, in part 9 we'll see group by, having and distinct classes in SQL. And this is SQL Server tutorial series for beginners. So if you have not watched the previous parts, please watch those as well. And let's start with the group by class. So as the name suggests, the group by class will summarize the rows. So what are the rows which are having the same values, it will summarize to a single row. And for the group by class, we should specify the column on which we want to group by. There may be one or more columns on which we can group by. Mostly this group by clause will be used in conjunction with the aggregate function. So whenever the aggregation functions like the count, sum, average, min, max, etc. So these kind of aggregate functions, so we use group by clause. Right? We'll also see the demonstration for this as well. Moving on to the having clause. So having clause is more often used with the group by clause. And having is like a where clause which filters rows after grouping. So it's more like a where clause, but there are certain differences between them. And the having clause will filter the records after the grouping. It will start the grouping and then after that it will check the grouped values and then filter out the rows. So it operates after the group by clause, after grouping the rows. So it is also used with the aggregate functions. And moving on to the distinct one. So as the name suggests, distinct. So this distinct is used to fetch unique records from the table. So you can specify the columns so that it will pick the distinct records of those column sets. Suppose if you want to fetch distinct combination of records of column 1, column 2, column 3, right? You should say select distinct column 1, column 2, column 3 from the table. So that's how we can get the distinct rows from a table. So let's switch back to SSMS and see the demonstration for these three classes. So currently we are in SSMS and we are in session 9, that is group by, having and distinct classes, right? So to demonstrate that, I'm creating a table and inserting some rows to this table, right? So create the table. It got created. I'm also, since we are using the group by, so I'll also load couple of duplicate data. So I load it once, I load it again, executing again. Similarly, these two rows I want to execute twice. So two rows affected, again I want to execute, there are two rows. So since there is no primary key constraint, so it has allowed the duplicate values. So let's select the table from here, select star from the table. So this is a select, click on the execute button. So it will give you the rows. Let's order them so that it will be easy for us to check what are the duplicates. Order by, we should specify the column name, that is employee ID. If you're not mentioning anything, it will take ascending order by default. Let's execute now. So as you see, there are duplicates for each of the rows. So if you have seen my previous video where I have told about the duplicate records, how to delete the duplicate records from a table. So if you have not watched that video, please go to my videos playlist and from there you can search the video remove duplicates from a table. As I told, there are row duplicates, that is exact duplicates like this. One of the column may be having different value. So all these 4 columns have the same value, but this may have 20,000 and this may have 30,000. So there are one of the column may differ. So that is kind of business key duplicates, right? Now let's see the distinct class first. So this is the table. So we have 8 rows in total, and when you use the distinct class, so for that what we have to first get the column list. For that you just need to press Alt F1, so that will give the column names. So I have the 5 columns here. I'm just adding the column list here. So I want to get the distinct combination of this 5 column set, right? So if you query this, we get the same result set. For using the distinct to get the unique rows out of this 5 columns combination, right? Use the distinct class and click on execute. So you'll get the 4 rows. So basically the distinct eliminated the duplicate rows, right? So that's how the distinct works. So here we have 8 rows in the first one without distinct, and with the distinct we have only 4 rows. Right, let's move on to the group by class. So group by, and as well as let's learn the having also together. So if you want to, so we got the duplicate, we have eliminated the duplicates using the distinct class. However, we can also run group by class and you can find the duplicate records, right? So for that you can get the same column list. So if it is exact duplicates, then we can use any one of the column, but I'm using the all columns. Let's remove the order by for now. Let's write the group by class first. Group by the column list. Let's run this particular query. So now these are the unique rows from the table. So even if you use the distinct or the group by, right, it gives the same result set. So this is the distinct combination. So either you can get the distinct rows as a group by all those column set, or you can use the simple distinct class in SQL Server, right? Moving on, we can just change this query a little bit to enhance it. And if the if a row is having duplicate, that is the count greater than 1, if it is repeated more than once, right, we want such kind of records. So I will say if this combination is repeated, I want to say it as duplicates dupes. So that is duplicate count, dupes underscore count will say, right? And if we run this, so it says duplicate count greater than, so duplicate count 2. And if you want to filter out, suppose let's execute this once again, the first row. Now if we execute this one again, so if we execute this again, so there are 3 rows. The first row is duplicated thrice and the other 3 rows are duplicated twice. So if you want to filter, right, we can write having and this count star, and if it is repeated more than twice, right, we want such records. At that time we can say greater than count of star, that is duplicate count greater than 2. Click on this, so we got only one record, and this having will apply, so this class will be applied after the grouping. So that's the main difference between the where class and the having class. Where class will apply before the grouping, right? So we can, once we execute this, we can say, so we can get the rows which are repeated more than twice. So this is the having class. So this is how the having class works. And I have also made a video for this grouping, finding duplicate records, removing duplicate records from a table. Right? We can also use the where class in conjunction with the group by. So let's write this query. So let's enhance this query by using the where class. So let's run the table once. So we have the country UK and US. So let's use where employee location. We want to get the employee location where the employee location is US, right? So this is a simple where class. So this where class should be, so as soon as you see here, right, the red squiggly line is there which says incorrect syntax near. So the where class should be applied before the group by class, right? And the having should be always written after the group by. So let's see if we write the having class, so it will show a red squiggly line. So there is an incorrect syntax error there. So this is how this is before apply after, sorry, the before grouping. So what we are doing here, so we are selecting all the columns, so this column list and seeing if there are any duplicates. So if it is repeating twice, so this count will be 2. If it is repeating thrice, the count will be 3. And we are getting the data from the TVL employee table, and we are eliminating the rows US, the employee location whose employee location is US, so that we are eliminating. After that we are grouping the data. After grouping we are eliminating the records which are duplicated more than twice, and we are ordering the data, right? So let's execute this. So with US, so there is only one employee. There are 2 records which are having US. So but we have mentioned the having class count greater than 2, that's why it's not coming. So let's say the count greater than 1, so this is the 1 record. If we say so this is the first one, and let's change the condition not equal to US and the count star which is duplicated. So there are 3 rows which are here. So let's execute the both the queries together. So let's execute the normal select and this one. So in the first one we have 8 rows, and after applying the conditions, like, so we eliminated the record, this one, before the grouping itself, so this is gone, and all other rows are repeated twice. So the first row is repeated thrice, and third and fourth repeated twice. So these 2 records here. So that's how this works. And also for the select statement order, right, how the select statement executes, right? So that for that I have made a video, logical processing of select statement. That's my first video. You can please refer that video if you want to know the order of execution of the select statement. So I'll write it here for your reference. So logical processing of select statement, you can refer that video. So which class executes first, which class executes next, so for that, right? If you observe here, right, so let's discuss one part of that particular video. So the having executes before the select statement execution, right? So here we have aliased. So this is called alias. I'll make a separate video for that, column alias, table alias. So I have used the alias here. So if I use the same alias for count star, we can call it as dupes count. So for that, if I use that, it shows a red squiggly line. That means the select, this particular statement has not been executed when it is executing the particular having clause. So the having clause executes first, then the select column list, right? So it's interesting. Please, you can refer that particular video if you want to know the logical processing of the select statement. So thanks for watching this video and thanks for your time. And this is the SQL Server Tutorial Beginner series. And if you have friends who want to learn SQL, please share this video and like my video if you like it. Please also let me know if you want me to make a video on a specific topic. You can comment that in my YouTube video comment, right? And thanks for your time. Have a great day. Thanks for watching my video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and tap the bell icon for notifications so that you'll get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.